You don't forget your first love. We were young and wild, we were up all night. You don't forget that summer sun 2009. We were feeling high.
I already did an intro to this video, so this is the intro to the second half of this video, because this is part 2 of part 2. I recorded a lot of that last week for handing in, and I waited to film the last part of this and talk you guys through the pictures that I took with all the stuff that you saw me making and all the stuff that we were making work. We absolutely Tim gunned the shit out of this project. Yes, I'm wearing my pearls. Sorry, I'm a little bit because I just got all of my grades back for this semester. As you know, I just started doing fashion. Previously I was studying media studies, and fuck me, is it boring, okay? Media studies is boring. And I'm really glad I've been able to transfer a little bit of credit and move into fashion, because apparently I'm pretty good at it. And, you know, hiding Vogue, or not hiding Vogue, but, you know, the interest in fashion started when I was about 15, but I always felt like I was an outsider looking in, you know, because A, the prices of this shit, and B, I was a plus size kid. I was always a plus size, and I was much larger than I was now when I was a kid. Hell, I used to wear size UK 24 pants when I was 17, so I was bigger then when I was 17 than I am now. So I would buy Vogue and lust over the handbags, because at least one day I might be able to get one of those when I had the money. So I did this semester, whatever it's called, I don't know. Semesters are supposed to be 2s, and there's 3, so there's already, that doesn't make sense. I did fashion illustration, which, that was too close. That was far too close for anyone's liking. Yeah, so I've had a blast, and I've learnt so much, and I've got so much confidence from the last 12 weeks. I did actually, at 17, go to college for design. Went to college for design. I took a BTEC National Diploma in Design and Technology. And I was too scared to do the fashion second year, because you had to choose a speciality in year 2. And I was too scared because I'd already broken every sewing machine in the workroom twice. There were 8. One day I broke all 8 trying to sew a bag, because nobody taught you how to use it. They just put sewing machines there, and then that was it. Nobody said, no, none of the teachers went, okay, this is how we use the sewing machine. Nobody do this. Okay, that kind of thing. And at 17, you need that kind of direction, otherwise you're going to fuck it up. And I fucked every single one of them up. I was not confident enough in any sort of ability to be able to do fashion for the second year. So I ended up doing 3D design because it was downstairs and I didn't have to walk up the fucking stairs. And that's what I based my decision on. And then my dad got sick. He was, one day he just dropped at work. He had viral pneumonia, which he had been working through. And it was so bad, it was a type of pneumonia that I've never seen before. He's actually in one of those special Lancet magazines now from 20 years ago. I'm talking about 19 years ago this happened. Jesus Christ, I am old. This monologue is making me feel old. Anyway, he had viral pneumonia, and he was in hospital for a very, very, very long time in Chelsea at the specialist lung. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Royal Brompton. If you have, they are amazing people. They do amazing work, and they serve amazing coffee in their coffee shop. And there was a lot of going backwards and forwards to see my dad at the hospital, and not a lot of work getting done. Also, my 3D design tutor halfway through the year had a midlife crisis and had to take his own time off, so we got a different tutor. So there was no learning that happened, pretty much. I think I designed a shop, a jewelry shop with some trolleys in it that you could say it juxtaposed the jewelry to something, you know, found in a lake. I don't know. I don't remember. I was 17. I got good grades for the stuff that I did when I was there. However, it wasn't my passion. I just felt like I was phoning it in. I felt like I was there because I had to be. And that's how I felt once I enrolled into normal uni. I could not keep up with law at all. Like, the reading is... They expect you to do about 15 or 20 hours of reading a week for law, which, you know, it makes sense. It's a really dry subject. It's the law. You've got to know all of the ins and outs. You can't just be like me and know most of it and kind of recall it from memory. You can't have all these law books in a courtroom. You need to know it. And I have ADHD. This is where, at this point, it crystallized to me that I physically cannot concentrate for as long as they want me to on this. I was trying to take philosophy of law and I read the same paragraph maybe 19 times in this one book. And that wasn't even one of the hard books to read. It was supposed to be fucking interesting. They told me it would be interesting. It fucking wasn't. So that really crystallized the whole, you've got probably a problem with your brain. Like, definitely probably a problem with your brain, and you're trying to, like, take in information, because it wasn't working. It was just giving me anxiety. So I changed to media studies, and, you know, the grades started flying. I did actually find the subject matter very interesting. Thankfully, sense prevailed, and I have now moved to Billy Blue College, University, whatever the fuck it is, where the only reason I didn't originally sign up to them was because okay, so in Australia, this hurt my elbow, I'm gonna put you down. In Australia, your fees that you pay are deferred, so you don't, like, the government pays them for you up front, and then once you get a job, I think it's over $45,000 a year. Thankfully, I don't earn that now. That really puts into perspective all the videos I make where I spend $300 on a box, right? Was I? And why am I talking about this video? In Australia, they make you, they don't make you, they pay the fees up front, and then you start paying them back when you earn a bunch of money. That didn't seem to matter to me very much when choosing, or when considering the fee price. So I was still concerned with how much it was costing, and the Billy Blue courses cost around $3,000 more than any other courses. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because they can. I don't know if it's because they're more of a private university. They now have, you know, they now offer courses via Torrens, which is not a private university. So, although maybe it is, I don't actually know. I just sign in, man. I just sign in and press the government pays my fees button. The fees in my mind were, like, extortionate for the, you know, I would be able to get a degree anywhere, but the fact is that I wasn't being fulfilled by the degree that I was doing. I enjoyed some aspects of media studies, but I don't want to make films, you know, cinematic films. I don't want to be a media drone. It was the very dry side of media studies. Like, it wasn't the design side. I wasn't going to get to do, let's design an advert for a product or anything like that, which I was really disappointed, because that's the kind of, like, the stuff I wanted to do. I want to do this kind of thing. Film studies, intro to film studies was kind of fun, because I got to play with, you know, bits and pieces and do a storyboard and draw. I got to draw, and I got a fucking distinction for this storyboard that I did. And I got a distinction for the video that I did, which was more of a message to people about me than probably what they expected when they asked me to make a video about growth. I think it was about change or growth or something like that. And I've never released it on this channel because it's quite personal. And I don't know if I have the guts to do so. I mean, if you really want to see it, I can post it. I don't even know if anyone's going to watch this fucking far into this black dress video because it's the most ridiculously long video I have ever made. But, you know, if you do want to see it, we can do it. It's about how I got to here. How I got to being the person that doesn't actually give a fuck when somebody says something in my comments, or somebody that doesn't actually give a fuck when someone says, wow, you have fat arms. I'm like, really? You know, I've reached the point where I have stopped giving a fuck what people think, and they can say and insult me as much as they want, but I have realized now that reflects more on them than it does on me. And that's their issue. It's not my fucking issue, and I'm just going to leave it. That's their thing. Like, the person that called me stupid for buying two $300 boxes of Jeffree Star stuff to open at Christmas. It's like, yeah, of course it was fucking stupid. We were testing the boxes. It was a dumbass idea. But it was fun, okay? So go back in your fucking troll hole and fuck off. I don't like it. Like, I will respond, but usually it's because I'm bored and I want to have some fun. It's often why I will also comment on political things on Facebook. Those people are the best fun to play with. I digress a lot. I'm very sorry. What we're here to talk about is why I went on this fashion course. I don't know why I've just spent like 10 minutes talking about that. It's probably just something that I needed to get out there. Yeah, so a lot of online hate fueled this video I made for media studies. And it crystallized part of why I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to do the fashion stuff. And another part of that, coming to that decision, was making these videos that you guys watch and being where some of us are in our clothing journey, which is nothing ever fits right. There's nothing ever fits right, or it's made of shitty material. I don't know if I'll link it. The video where I did the Iconic designer stuff. I bought Iconic is like it's like ASOS for Australia, but a bit more expensive. They have an outlet store, and I bought stuff that used to cost $700 or $800 or more. I think one or two of the items were over $1,000 on their price tag from Australian designers who had decided to try and do a plus size range. And firstly, they don't know what plus size is. This is what we found out from making that video. The company that made the items that I bought, which was Leo and Lynn, they don't know what plus size actually is. And they had given us the shit fabric because that's what plus size people deserve. Okay, I went on their actual website for their store in Melbourne, and it was filled with beautiful silk shirts, linen, beautiful trousers made of wool, you know, all these amazing fabrics. And the 4 items I bought, they were all made of polyester or a derivative thereof. It might have been a slightly nicer polyester than you get from Shein, but at least Shein's honest with their price tags. So that polyester shirt, that I've still got one piece that I wear from that video, which is the cute pink polyester shirt with the gathered sleeves and the little tie thing that goes around your neck. It's a cute shirt. its original price tag was somewhere in the $400 range. And I now know a tiny bit about fashion, and that's just not worth anywhere near that. Even if somebody hand sewed it with their teeth, it's still not worth what they were charging at full price. So, yeah, part of... Sorry, my coffee is going cold because I'm talking too much. Part of the catalyst of moving into this was doing these videos and realizing we get the shit. We get the shitty end of the stick every single time. If you're a plus size person out there, you know what I'm talking about. You know we get the shitty end of the stick. You go and you see a pair of pants and you think, oh, it's so nice. You find the plus size version and it's cut wrong. It's cut weird. It's like, even stores that are supposed to be for us. Okay? Let's not forget the boots I bought from fucking City Chic. That even if I'd had a normal plus size person's calf, because my calf is hilariously sized, apparently it's like loopy, it still would not have fit a normal plus size person's calf. It just wouldn't. I don't know who these wide boots were for, but they weren't a plus size person. Why is City Chic selling it? You know? Or I walked past U Plus All. I haven't actually done a haul from them because their clothes bore me. Like every time I go on their website, I'm bored. Their website's boring. Their models are boring. Their models look bored in their clothes. And it just looks boring. It looks boring. I'm gonna be honest, it's like Luna Wave's clothes. It's boring. It's not for me. It's like, I'm not boring. Like, I will try things. I'm anything but boring, so I haven't tried anything from those people. But I was going to, can we focus on me and not the window? I was going to Old Big W to get something, I don't fucking know. A little while back, and outside U Plus All, they had a sale rack, and it had check pants on it. And you know, I have been wanting checked pants, long pants, not short ones, because, you know, calves. Outside, they were like that camel brown with the checks, and I was like, oh! And I probably looked like a fucking lunatic in the shopping centre, because I ran to that rack outside a shop. It wasn't inside. I wasn't inside the shop. There were people at cafe looking at the fucking psycho person running at a rack of pants. And they were cropped. I got there and the pants were cropped. Why? Why have you done this? Why? 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 They had other types of checked-ish pants on the rack as well, and they had the right kind of shape there. You know, a long pant with a wider leg with a fucking seam on the front, you know, an iron seam. Because I just think they're just so pretty. Like a wide leg pant with the ironed seam down the front, you know, almost suiting, but, you know, not quite, because I don't work in an office. Window is really fucking with this thing. But I don't want to move to the other side of the table because my chair doesn't fit. And I need to sit because of the back. Yeah, we're still in that place. Anyway, so it was shit like that where I'm like, you know, I need to learn how to make my own stuff. And, you know, suiting and tailoring and grading patterns and looking at a thing and going, how do I make that in my size, is something I can't just learn from a fucking YouTube video. I'm sure there are a couple out there, but you know what? I'd get bored in 10 minutes. And I wouldn't learn shit. Because I really do need an engaging teacher to keep me engaged. And do you know what? Fucking Billy Blue is full of engaging teachers. I have, like, the two I have had this semester, I've done 3, like, they say to do 3 subjects, and instead of 4, usually it's a 4 subject load, and I did 3, and it was the right amount of subjects at this semester. I have done I have signed up for 4 for next semester because I'm a fucking crazy person. But the reason it was the right amount this semester was because we went away to the Gold Coast for 5 whole days. A week before like a whole bunch of assessments were due, and that was the worst thing I could have done, let me tell you. I have, like, it felt like I spent the next 5 weeks. It's been 5 or 6 weeks since we came back. Just catching up from having 5 days off of not doing the work and being present. The holiday we were planning for July is now cancelled. We're not doing that at all because it's slap bang in the middle of my second semester and I will never catch up. Not one. Like, there's no chance. So, that plus my back being, you know, the thing it is. And there was something else. Oh yeah, I had like a whole shit, like loads of orders to do. Loads and loads of orders. Because my customers, for my yarn, I don't know if you know, I dye yarn for a living sometimes. And make bags. That's the sewing that I've done. I sew in straight lines, I make bags. An example of the kind of thing I make, it's just here. This guy. Yeah, this is a bit more, oh fuck, don't fall. This is a bit more weird and wild and wonderful than what I normally make. I just usually normally make, you know, zip up bags. You can put either your makeup or your knitting in, and yeah. So that's what I normally, that's the sewing that's my sewing level. So this project, let's get back to the project at hand, is was the most challenging project that I have ever done, and why I chose to do 5 pictures instead of 3 or 1 like the fucking brief asked for, I don't know. I think it's because the subject that I chose was so bloody interesting to me. I mean, it might not be interesting to anybody else. If you don't give a fuck about fashion, you won't care about the little black dress movement. You won't care that somebody took the little black dress from being a uniform that a maid would wear to something that walks the red carpet every single fucking time there is a red carpet. Or royalty use it as a fucking weapon, you know? It's you wouldn't give a fuck. If you don't care about fashion, you wouldn't care about this video. So I don't know why you're here and clicked on it, if you know. Well, all I'm saying is, if you don't care about the subject, I don't know why you clicked on this. Okay, let's get on to the actual pictures. I'm going to put you down because my arm's hurting. And yes, I am wearing my pearls. I do have a bit of white on, and no, I'm not wearing my black dress. But I am wearing the cute top that came, I think it was a Shein haul, with the crazy sleeves. Yeah, me likey a lot. But yeah, it doesn't need a top underneath it. I am not one for a midriff moment because nobody wants to see that, including me. I'm trying to move you up a tiny bit. This little stand is very but in a minute we're just going to do voiceover, so it don't even matter, so I don't know why I'm bothering. That'll have to do. And yes, that is a very bad picture of Riri behind me. I'm very sorry, Rihanna. I'm very, very, very sorry. But your man is styling out that coat, right? Yeah. I will put a couple of pictures at the very end of this once we get back off of topic, because I promise I will get on topic at some stage. Once we get back off topic, I'll show you the progression from what is on my wall to a world of design opening for me, which was being taught how to do Photoshop. It has just taken me from the analog artist that I was and am, like in any fucking, give me a medium and I'm there for it. Like, poor art, yes. Dyeing yarn, fuck yes. Like fabric, oh my god, fabric choices, yes, I'm there for it. I used to do drawing, like my nan, who loved me, the only person that ever really did fucking absolutely adore me. She made me that, by the way, I'm gonna cry. She bought me... Okay, I had to have a little bit of a moment there. Yeah. She bought me my first proper A3 sketch pad and some really amazing Swiss, I think they are, Caran d'Ache watercolor pencils. And it was like I'd found my thing. I remember in year 8, I don't know, how old are you in year 8? Drawing this repeat pattern. We were asked to do one square and then make a repeat pattern with this one square. My teacher looked at the work that I'd done and was like, where did this come from? Who knew? Yeah, I blew my nose because there's some emotions, man. Who knew that talking about little black dresses would have me blow my nose so much? I like art, basically. I like art, I like fashion, and I finally lent into it. I've finally gone, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna be who I have always wanted to be, who I wanted to be at 15, who I wanted to be at 17, who I wanted to be anytime I've had an opportunity to study anything, or anytime someone's gone, what do you want to be when you grow up? I've gone, I want to be Nigella Lawson and also look like Nigella Lawson. Which is cooking, but that's not the point. The point is she does what she loves and she looks fucking fabulous while she's doing it. So that's pretty much what I wanted to be. Like it wasn't, I want to be a chef. It was, I want to be pretty. I'm pretty sure that's what that was. So let's get into... The reason I waited until this morning to post it, or today to post this video, was because I was waiting for my grade to come back. Because, as you know, I had an extension. I was worried the extension might have a bearing on my grade, but it does not, because it was a medical extension for the fact that I can't fucking walk without OxyContin. And that's still a fact today. Apparently, the bilateral, whatever the fuck it is, takes up to 2 weeks to work, and we're on week 1 and a bit at the moment, and it's not worked yet. So I was waiting for my grade to come back, and it did come back, and it's a high distinction, which I had a little cry about earlier, because it means that across the 3 subjects that I've done, I've got 2 high distinctions and 1 distinction, which, like, I've got good grades in the past. Okay grades, like credits, and the very occasional distinction would pop up in some of my subjects, like the media studies, filmmaking, or like media studies 101, I got high distinction in, because fucking easy, man. It was all like, this is elementary, because it is when you know about media. And yeah, it was like, I have slogged my guts out this semester. I probably didn't need to, and it probably came a lot easier to some other students, these marks, but I did my best and got as good a grades as possible. I'm pretty sure, so whatever. The work was worth it. Basically, the work was worth it, and my tutor did give me some feedback on the pictures we're about to see. He said they were amazing, and also to fucking take some time off because he knows how hard I've worked on this. Because for part of the assessment, we had to hand in the pictures, obviously, and our journals of how we got from the proposal to the thing, which apparently I can't hand in my last video of how we got there. So I had to make one where I wasn't swearing because fuck is fine for YouTube, but not so much for your assessment 3. Let's finally get into it. This video is going to be so long, and I'm sorry, but not really, because I feel like it's all information you need to know where I'm coming from with A, my subject choice, and B, why I'm doing this. Let's do a bit of a catch up, because just in case you can't be able to watch part 1, because holy hell, it's also long. We were asked to do an assessment. Our assessment was to make a tableau vivant, which is a living picture of a part of history, or a, you know, like a point of history that's very interesting to us, or a picture from history. It could be your favorite movie that's a part that really speaks to you, or it could be a painting that really, you know, you really love, or even, like, I don't know, maybe a point of history that was reported on, like documenting anything that was important to you or spoke to you in a way that you could describe. And obviously it had to maybe do a little bit with the main subject, because this is a core subject and there are a bunch of different people doing different weird shit in it, about, you know, the thing you're doing a degree in. So for me, it was fashion. And I started off with iconic moments in fashion, and I narrowed it down to how the little black dress after, like, I thought Chanel did it. Like, I thought Chanel went, yep, I'm going to make a little black dress and we're going to do it. That's because it's the Depression and everyone can wear black, and it, you know. But it wasn't just as simple as that. Like, before she even put that plate out, like that design out from Vogue, which, God, that plate was terrible, wasn't it? People were already wearing their black dresses out and about, and she saw it and she jumped on it. Rather than inventing it herself, she saw it and monetized it. She was one of us. She was one of us. one of us. But yeah, it did take it from being a dress that the help would wear to a dress that everyone would wear, including royalty. In 1937, I think it was, whichever Windsor it was in the palace, was they're wearing a little black dress with the flapping bits and pieces. Like, she was wearing a flapper dress with the pearls, and, you know, the whole works. So it took it from something that was an affordable fabric for working class to make themselves, you know, I feel a tiny bit more like I'm not working class, to what Chanel made it, where everyone could wear it, blurring the lines of class, etc., etc. So it wasn't just that Chanel went, hey, let's dress in black. It wasn't just that she had this Ford moment. It was already a movement that was happening around her, and she took it and she did what we all do, which is she took something and changed it, which I think is something that this entire subject was about. Like, design concepts was about taking something, changing it, making it new, maybe improving it, you know, making it different. It wasn't about designing brand new stuff, because fucking everything's been designed. It's 2022. We're here. We're it's very difficult to be a completely brand new designer, innovative person. So she already did that. That's what she did. And that the way that she took this thing and made it an icon. She made it this thing that everyone could have, but at the same time, everyone wanted, including famous people. They wanted a black dress to wear on a red carpet. They wanted a black dress to wear in a movie. They wanted a black dress to have an easy time of, you know. Black is apparently slimming. Black is easy to clean, you know, unless you're Princess Diana and you choose that amazing velvet. That's not easy to clean. Don't try and put that in the dishwasher. Don't try and put that in the washer, because it ain't gonna work. And it was easy to accessorize as well. Oh, you got a pair of heels, you're going to you're going on a date. Oh, you're wearing it with a pair of, you know, flats, you're going to the shops. You know, it was made it into this most versatile thing. And that's what design's about. So for me, that's what this assessment should be about. It should be about design that was taken and changed and made into this new thing. And she took it and she changed it and she made it into this new thing that everybody fucking wanted. And still do. Like, you can walk it, like I said before, you can walk into any shop and pick a black dress of some sort off of the rack. You just can. But, so, part of the thing was making a PDF, which was kind of boring. One of this brief was the fucking pictures, which consumed me and my husband because he had to take pictures for an entire weekend. Last weekend was just a flurry of making things, taking pictures, and then me trying to get on with the other subjects I didn't have an extension for and hand those in before editing these pictures. The PDF, I don't know why everyone wants things in PDFs. They're fucking annoying. Stop it. Literally every subject to like, make a PDF of your files. I'm like, no, stop asking me for PDFs. I fucking hate them. So I included in this part 2 bits and pieces from the, you know, making it work video from earlier in this. You know, pictures of me making the little crown doohickey into, or the, yeah, making the Cinderella tiara into something approximation, which actually, it ended up being massive, and I regret how big it was, but I did what I could with what I had on hand. And could I have made it smaller? Yes, but in hindsight, I didn't know how it was going to go on my head. I didn't know how my hair was going to be able to be, because you know how hard it is to do a hairstyle on a wig? Really fucking hard. And Audrey's hair is not simple on a person. But like, I didn't have enough hair for that, so I've got a long brown wig, and I did manage to get it to look something like hers. It was much darker than her hair, but like at this stage I'm like, you know what, I don't fucking care anymore. Let's just take the picture. And you know, we got there, and the 2 pictures I'm most pleased with are the last 2, and we'll get to those. The first picture that we shall talk about is The Maid. The Maid is a painting by George Lambert, as I probably said in my last video, if you can remember that far back in the 1900s. So, she's got a little letter from whoever it is that is writing to her, and she's got her fancy, massive cuffs. I don't even know if they're attached to a shirt. Like, does she have an undershirt those cuffs come from? Or is she just, or does the dress have white cuffs? I don't know. I didn't think about it that hard. All I thought about was how to make the neck ruffle thing. And when I was trying to make that, it was pretty high on diazepam. So that was confusing. And her little frilly hat, which I fully went in with, and I was gonna clip it to the other thing, and then I realized, why don't I just fucking put elastic on it? So I put some elastic on it. Did fine. Mine was much larger than her. Again, I'm not very good at assessing how big a headpiece should be. Don't give me the responsibility of making Mardi Gras outfits, because everyone will be walking around with 2-story high headdresses. I will put a picture of my version of The Maid here. I want to bring it up so I will put a picture of my version of The Maid here. I want to bring it up so I can talk about it. Neck thingy could have been better, but you know, my husband didn't tell me it looked like that. he not very good at the whole direction, like as a no. He's no photographer. But he tried, and I sent a picture of this. Where's the unedited version? We'll bring up the unedited version first. That looked like, I sent a quick, before I edited anything, I sent a quick couple of pictures to my tutor just to show him that, you know, I was getting on with it, even though, you know, because I didn't, like, I felt really horrible that I'd asked for an extension because I hate asking for extensions. I want to be on time. But, you know, so I wanted to show you, but I fucking needed one because I couldn't walk for half of the time I was trying to make this. Literally, I couldn't walk or sit for half of this project. I don't know how it's been made, but it's here and it's fine. I like it. So I'll bring up, where is she? I think it was this one. And he sent back the note saying, make sure you edit out the plug socket. And it killed me. It literally made me die. As if I was going to leave the plug socket in. But after seeing, no offense to any of you other students that are watching this, because I'm sure your work is now fabulous. And I'm sure it went great and you love it. But I saw a few of the projects before I was submitting mine, and yeah, they probably did need the note. They might have needed the note about the plug socket. So, no offense to anyone else who did this project, but, you know, I would not ever leave a plug socket in. Anyway, the whole point of this was that I wanted to make this one and the Chanel one as close as possible to the originals. And where are we? I mean, bring me. Looking at myself and editing myself is really, like, it's a hard thing to do. It's really, like, I hate it. I really do not like staring at pictures of myself. I hate even editing these videos and listening to myself fucking ramble. Which is why sometimes I leave an awful lot more rambling in than I should. It's because I'm bored of fucking listening to myself and I'm like, that'll do. This is the final one. And yeah, I think I got as close as I could with what I had, including the terrible editor. I even did my hair exactly like they did it. I found an Edwardian hair instructional manual on how to make this hairstyle and got industrial strength mousse and hairspray and the Australian stockpile of bobby pins, and that went in my hair. And that, like, I managed it. Like, it doesn't look as good as her hair, but of course she fucking does it every day, and she's a painting, so. The cuffs on my one are probably not the right shape. Now I'm looking at it, but you know what? It's too late now. And, you know, she's holding a letter, which I'm hoping is from someone interesting in the painting. My letter is a bill, I think, or a mortgage statement, I think. Because that's pretty much all we get in the mail these days, which I think is an interesting commentary on mail. It's either that or handwritten letters from the Jehovah's Witness who lives down the road. What I did do, because I was trying to fiddle around with the background and I didn't want to make it exact as hers. Like, I did, to start with, like, take squares of the background and try and join them to make it look as similar as possible to the canvas behind her. And I'm like, this just isn't going to look, it's going to look weird. So I sampled a bunch of the colours of the paint from behind her and used a really wide paintbrush in Photoshop and smudged it around, so we've got this interesting, hey, first, you know that background they used to have in school pictures? When we were at school, they used to have that kind of cloudish brown background back in the 90s and the 80s. Remember that? Yeah, that's what she looks like. She's in front of. One little piece of the actual background that I did sample was the part where the artist had signed it, and it's kind of like the sideboard, like what's that thing called? The skirting board. It's like the skirting board that goes along the bottom of floor. I sampled that and stuck that in there a little bit and blended it in. I don't know whether that might be plagiarizing the painting, but I have referenced the painting, so I'm not sure if that's allowed or not, but it's in the picture now, so oh well. Let's move on to the next picture because I'm now waffling. Okay, so the next picture is me as Chanel. Here is the original Chanel picture. In this picture, Chanel is she's sitting on like a stool or a puff or something, and she's wearing her black dress. She's belted it. She's got her accessories, and she looks fucking fabulous. She's smoking because that's what everyone did in the 1930s, and she's got her hat at a fucking jaunty angle with the hair. It's the same kind of hairdo as the maid had, except it's probably she's got longer hair. Or it's not, and I'm talking out my ass, but in my head it's the same hairdo, and that's the hairdo we used. The thing that I couldn't find, which is like a huge 1920s and 30s accessory, was massive feathers. And I don't know whether they just, you just can't buy those kind of things anymore, or, you know, if it's some sort of this bad for environment, this bad for birds, or whatever. So I just made some out of cardboard. And we tried it with a cigarette or like a fake cigarette in my mouth, and it just kind of gave me a weird jaw. And we also tried it with me sitting on our stool, so that, you know, it looked like I was actually sitting on the same sort of thing. But our stool has no padding, and I kind of fell into the middle of it and could not sit in any... Partly because of my back and partly because of the stool having no resistance whatsoever to a butt. I could not sit like her if I wanted to on a stool, so we pulled the chair back out. So unfortunately I'm not sitting on a cute stool, but anyway. Also, my dress, it don't have no pockets. It says pockets. She's got pockets in her dress. I have no pockets, but... what I do have is some very cool accessories in my picture. Here is my version. I even managed to do the earring. I'm kind of proud of this. I shouldn't be, because it, like, fucked up something that I was sent for free. But they're probably not watching this video, so it doesn't even matter. You know the dress from the Lunar Wave video with the check, the yellow and grey check, and it was like, my boobs are out here somewhere. Yeah, I cut the buttons off, and then I put the button on one of my earrings, and that's what's on my ear in that picture. It was perfect. Look at that. We made it work. But don't tell Lunaway that I cut all the buttons off of that, because they're probably going to be pissed. And I also cut out a bunch of feathers like that. They look super photoshopped, but they are actual feathered, like, shaped paper. They look so, like, in hindsight they look super photoshopped on the picture, but like I couldn't care a fucking less at this point. I love my cuffs. I think they're perfect. They're, you know, awesome. And I've got loads of pearls on. I've got loads of things on my wrists. I got, you know, the black dress thing going on, the hat. Yeah, I think I did like what the best I could for the shape I am, because, you know, she's a 1920s straight up and down model and I'm really not. The only bummer is that it didn't even like register that she had her hands in a pocket, so that I should probably have put pockets on my dress. It didn't even register. It didn't register until I was editing the picture that she had hands in pockets. But other than that, I think we did a real good job. With the cigarette, I took hers and put it in my mouth, and the background the same. Because there was no way, like, there's nothing in the background of her picture, and I was just like, you know what, we're just going to put her background in. I could probably have even put the stool that she's sitting in it, but I didn't, like, I was over it. And I think it made a pretty good fist of it, to be honest, so whatever. I did not enjoy doing either one of these pictures because I was in a lot of fucking pain. Especially after falling into the stool. That was, you know, there was some diazepam involved in that. Next day we did Audrey and Diana, and you know what? I hated the dress that I made for Audrey because it made a very scratchy, non-stretch, horrible material. And, you know, she's the one that I least look like in my version of the picture. Here's her one with the sunglasses and the cute and the nice hair, and she looks fabulous. I do not look fabulous. There's probably a word for what I look like in my version, and it's not fabulous. It's fucking car crash, I think, is the official term. My pearls had gone awry over my shoulders, and my husband did not see fit to tell me that they had disappeared over my, like, they were all over the fucking shop, and he didn't tell me. So there was that. Like, I had them perfectly placed like this around with the stupid thing that had also gone awry. It should have been like straight on. And he didn't tell me any of this until after I'd been like, fuck it, they'll do. Because I couldn't, like, he didn't tell me any of this was wrong, and I was like standing here like, I'm broken, can we please just get on with this, because I can't stand here for very long. And yeah, so I made it work. The problem with the Audrey picture, which I came across very quickly, is that I wanted to put in the background our town. I wanted to put Grafton behind her and make it a little bit different. And that kept fucking with the perspective of me in a shop window. By the way, the most difficult thing to find, and like as a source picture that I could reference and wasn't something I had to purchase, is a picture taken from the inside of a shop out. I thought I was going to have to build one with, you know, I don't know, fabric, or well, I chose a fabric shop, so that's why I'm saying fabric, or makeup or something in the window, and then put a sheen across it to show that it's glass, something like that. I thought I was going to have to end up doing that and build a fucking shop window in Photoshop to put me in. And I finally found a inside out image, and it was a fabric shop. Perfect. Beautiful. But I was like too big in the window a lot. Like if I centered it and edited out the pillow that's in the middle and the bag that I've taken out of the picture, because there was a bag hanging right where my face is in this picture. If I edited both those things out and then stuck me in the middle, it fucked with the perspective way too much. So I moved myself to the side, and I know it's not exactly like the picture that it's based on, but I feel like not only is it in the same spirit of the picture it's based on, it also brings part of me into it, with the fact that, of course, I'd be staring at a fabric store. And it's got Australia behind it. It is an Australian fabric store, I believe, so it's got Australia behind it, at least, instead of New York. And I didn't just want to make it a complete recreation of the other one, because I could have just used the surroundings that were behind, you know, Audrey, and edited Audrey out of the picture and put me in it, but that's kind of a bit it's not very creative. I wanted to be a little bit more creative with this picture, so we were creative with this picture. And by far it took the longest to make because of the fucking perspective thing where she was like fucking King Kong in the window. But we got there eventually, and it just looks like she's kind of peering in going, what the fuck is this fabric in here? Like that. fucking Gollum outside the window with their croissant. Okay, let's move on to my personal favourite, which is not me lounging about on the couch, as you might expect it to be, because, let's face it, it should be. It's probably one of my favourite pastimes. But is my picture of, or my version of the more close-up version. I had a full version and a more close-up version, which is this one. Because the bottom of my dress was in no way, shape or form similar to hers. And this woman had legs for fucking days, and I have tree trunks for days. So I don't really want to put those in the picture, okay? It just didn't. So we did this version. It was hard enough putting my arms in this picture because you know how I feel about my arms. And yeah, there was a little bit of back and forth with the patterns on this one. The original pattern I chose was shite. It just was not suitable at all for this dress. So I went searching around and I found a website called Patterns for Pirates, which is awesome. I ended up buying about 27 fucking patterns from them. I'm making one now. And they had what is called a wheel dress, which had a off the shoulder, straight across boat neck thing going on. But I just kind of shaped it a little bit and used some double-sided tape to hold it in place. I also found, you know, a button that looked like a sapphire, and had my little bag that looked kind of like hers, stuff like that. And as you can see in the picture, I'm wearing my slides. I got my slides on. Got some green pole thing in the garden for the kid to play with. Don't really know. Swing ball, I think it is. Got other pieces that go on it. Lemon tree going crazy. I got the bag thing. I got the red nails. I got the fucking sapphires going on. I got the hair, which, by the way, her hair is much shorter than mine. I tried. I really did. I almost committed to chopping it all off myself, but I also know that I would fuck it up even more. So, again, national debt of hairspray is in that hair, the mousse, the everything. It's all in there. It's pinned. It's up. And, I mean, it looks kind of 90s, doesn't it? Like 80s, 90s. That's the kind of vibe we were going for. So, fuck it. It's better good enough. Yeah, this is my favourite picture. I'll show you what I did with it in a second. I just want to, yeah, like, braless, or not braless, but like strapless is not a great thing for somebody with an F cup. But yeah, again, making it work. I mean, if I was paying for a dress like Diana's, I'm sure it had internal boning and like a fucking support system for her, even her tiny boobs. But I was making this outstretched jersey myself in about fucking 4 hours. So we used boob tape and we just got on with it. In the background of her picture, everything is blurred out. There's like dudes and there's grass, and I think it's outside the Serpentine. I'm not sure. But anyway, I blurred out everything except some of the grass. And in hindsight, I should have blurred out all of it. But I like the fact that the grass is like really strong green, similar to hers. And, you know, it shows a tiny bit of our garden. So this is the finished product that I'm very pleased with. I zoomed in a little bit further than I should have. But that's probably because of the wall. I was happy to show a bit more than that, but the wall was like this, you know, it's kind of ugly brown colour. We could have probably done something about it, but at this stage of the project, I'm like, I'm going to die soon. I need to finish this. I feel like I have been working on this since Roman times. So let's just get on with it. And also, I didn't want to mess with the picture too much. We brought the colour up a little bit, and also, you know, took those little tiny blue-ish button diamonds, and I Diana'd them. I fully went in on the, like, we're gonna make this bigger, and we're gonna make it shine blue as fuck. And did the same with the one on the finger. And I, you know, said to my husband when I was tying that button to my finger, I didn't do anything. Literally, it's held on by string. I said, I want a real one of these, which means I need to be a princess. So could you become a prince? But apparently, A, that's not a job path he's willing to go down, and B, it's not actually a job path available to anybody. So just gonna have to go with buttons, I suppose. Yeah, this is the one I think I look the nicest in, so it's the one I'm happiest with. And I think I did the picture justice. I think you know who I'm supposed to be in it, even though, you know, Diana didn't have tree trunks for arms and an F cup. But, you know, you get the idea and you kind of fucking understand what the picture's about, which is what we were going for. The very last picture... yeah, that one. Okay, I wanted to use, like, parts from most of the... Like, the maid can fuck off. I'm not wearing a really hat for this. From most of the pictures and do what I would normally do, because it just shows that you can do whatever. Walk the red carpet at the Serpentine as a royal, or you can sit on your couch, look at your phone, drink your fucking Diet Coke out of your giant cup and ignore the mess around you. Because that's what I do sometimes when I'm allowed to sit on my couch, because I can't sit on my couch at the moment. My back hurts too much. I did also choose this end of my couch because it also shows, you know, my interests and my hobbies in the background. It shows that I like the yarn craft, and it shows that my kid enjoys a bit of fucking Lego, because despite the fact that I edited one Lego box out of this picture, one still remains that you can see. Here's the finished product. I didn't edit it very much. I did just bring the light up so that it looks like I'm sitting in a lovely patch of sunlight, which is not what I was sitting in at the time because there's no sun really to be had. But I used some of the pearls. Like, I wasn't going to put all the pearls that I made on because I wanted to be able to get up off the couch again, because I might have been crushed under the weight of pearls. I also didn't use Diana's pearls because it just wasn't necessary. Like, I'd have to... The thing is... it didn't look that fabulous in person, so I would have had to edit it again. And I think I have on my finger the other one, but you can't see it because I'm playing on my phone, which is what we all do on the couch. Or, you know, you browse on your phone, or you read the news on your phone, or you talk to your friends on your phone. Everything is happening on the tiny supercomputer that's in our pocket. That brings it to now. And that's what we wanted to do. And show that it's gone from a maid's uniform or something that fancy people use when they were in mourning to something every single person who wants one can have a black dress and feel fabulous in a black dress and go anywhere in one. And Chanel did help make that moment happen. And, you know, it might have happened on its own, but, you know, she was the one that took it and ran with it. So, you know, she was the trailblazer. And forever grateful for her for doing that, because I love the black dress. I do. I love the black dress that I'm wearing in this picture. It's not very appropriate because it, again, despite the fact that it has sleeves and a tiny bit of shoulder, it's a square. It's a very low cut square here. I think it's from an ASOS haul from fucking last year sometime, beginning of last year sometime, because it doesn't fit that great anymore because I've put on weight since that video. So it's not that appropriate for going out because you need to hide your bra or get a strapless bra or something, because it's not going to happen. Okay. But it is so cute. It's got little puff sleeves. It's got square, low-cut neckline that I adore. It's got long sleeves. It's a cute little mini dress, so I can put tights on that are fun colours underneath it. And you can accessorise it with anything, because it's fucking black. I still had on the makeup from the Diana thing. I still had the red nail, because, like, literally I just pulled that off and put this on. I then went and grabbed, I think the pearls are from, they're one of Chanel's strings of pearls. I didn't get the ones with the bits of cardboard that pretended to be feathers because I thought it was a wank. I put my own glasses on because apparently people didn't have bad eyesight in the other pictures, so I was blind for those. And I had her terrible, terrible hair that I'd done, and I stuck the tiara on top of it because despite the fact it is the ugliest thing in the world, I'm kind of fucking proud of it. There we go. Isn't it awful and terrible and fabulous all at the same time? Pretty much like most fashion. Not that I am in no way, shape or form pretending that this is fashion. This is a tiara with some fucking rhinestones stuck to it. The main message of this project and this video is wear what you want, when you want. If people have a problem with it, it's their problem. It's not your fucking problem. I do mean taste and decency though. Let's not go naked to the supermarket because it's not good look, okay? You're going to get arrested. It's against the law. Nobody wants to see your jingle jangles. Okay? Apart from maybe your significant other or yourself. Away from this project and hopefully this video, which is... this part that I've recorded now is 38.5 minutes long. The other part was probably also 38 minutes long, and there are other parts that I've already uploaded to the laptop, so this video is probably going to be an hour long, and I'm sorry. No, not really. Is that wear what you want, when you want to wear it, and if somebody has an issue with what you're wearing, it's their issue and not yours. If you feel fabulous in your fucking muumuu or your Dior gown, go into the supermarket, do it. There is no law that says that you can't do that. There is no... The court of opinion doesn't matter, okay? Let's just put it like that. The court of opinion does not matter. And that is something that Chanel knew. It's something that Chanel knew and something that she went, you know what? We're going to do all the things that are beautiful and all the things that we want to do with what we have at the time, and we're going to do it. And that's how we got the icon that is the little black dress, and that's how we got the bar jacket from Dior. He did the same thing. He went, God, let's give this woman a waist, you know? It's how we got some of the most beautiful things that you've seen in fashion, like John Galliano's stuff. I mean, it's out there, crazy, but you know, it's shocking and it makes you think about stuff, and it's amazing and beautiful all at the same time. And we wouldn't have that if people were worried about what other people thought all the time. It just fucking doesn't matter, okay? And so that's the end of my very long TED talk. So thanks for coming to my TED talk, and I hope that some other people from my class have actually tuned into part 2 of this video, because my tutor did in fact tell people about part 1, and we had to watch much too much of it during our lecture because we didn't really have a lecture for that day. So thanks for that, Karen. And I really hope you haven't been arrested for stealing that one girl's car yet, because you will get arrested for stealing that girl's car. Just leave it alone. And I hope I will see him again soon, but I think he only teaches in one other subject that I am taking, or I'm required to take. This is the end of this video now, I promise. I love you all. Thank you all for watching for probably an hour. I'm really, really sorry about how long this video is. And yeah, okay, bye.
You don't forget your first love. We were young and wild. We were up all night. You don't forget that summer sun 2009. We were feeling high, and I got drunk for the first time. I thought I was cool.